All right, so tonight Scott and I were at in an intercourse PA waiting for rides. We were at a exit ramp in the middle of nowhere. We'd see a car like every 3 to 5 minutes would come by, and we were there for a while. And this gentleman came. He drove past us. The exit ramp was really long. I mean, it was a couple football fields long. Well, he drove past us. You know, we saw him drive by, waved, and then I went and sat down, waiting for the next car, and all of a sudden we heard a honk up the hill. So Scott and I look, and the guy had pulled over and actually got out of his car. I was like, "Hey!" So Scott went running up. I grabbed the bags. That was the normal thing that we do, and going up the hill with it. Scott got there first and was telling the guy where we're going, 80 West, blah, blah, blah. And the guy was saying he was going to Altoona. So I arrived up there and I asked him, is Altoona on the 80 West? And he was like, yeah. And he asked what we were doing. I showed him like my YouTube videos, like I do many people. Pulled up my newspaper articles, like let him know we were legit. We weren't any crazy psychos or anything like that. And so we cleared off his back seat, opened up his trunk. He had like luggage in there. He said he was coming home from a wedding and doing like little vacation or something in Boston. Put all his stuff in the trunk, and we got in the car, and we were driving. And like I always do, I was posting, "Hey, next stop Altoona," and we were talking and didn't want to be filmed. Which is fine. I mean, I've had so many people, probably like 20 people, maybe even more, that didn't want to be filmed at all. And we were talking, and Scott, what were we talking about? He said he was a Boy Scout and stuff like that. He kept talking to Scott, and he asked Scott if he was ever in the Boy Scouts, and Scott said yeah for a little bit, but not much. And the guy told us how he was a Boy Scout, and I had told him how it was like ironically that our code word if anything goes bad is like one of the scout leaders in our town, and I texted, "Hey, we're on our way to Altoona." I think I might have said that. I don't even know. But anyway, all of a sudden, my phone buzzed, and a good friend of ours, Julie Bowman, who lives in Connecticut now. She's from Rittman, originally where we met her. She had said, "Hey, stay on the 80. You don't want to get off the 80." So I asked the guy. I was like, "Is Altoona on the 80 West?" And he said yes. So I looked on my map, and I'm like, Altoona looks like it's about 45 minutes south of 80 West. And he said, well, he goes, you could just go to Altoona. I'm like, no, I want to stay on the 80 West. So whenever you get off the exit, that's to go to wherever you're going to get to Altoona, drop us off. That's where we say our goodbyes. We started saying stuff like, Scott looks tired. Scott needs to get some rest. So Scott's going to go to my house tonight. You boys are going to sleep here, and then I'll bring you back to the 80 in the morning. And I'm like, no. We went off. When you get off this exit, we want to go to the 80. I mean, stay on the 80. I said, my family knows we're on the 80 West. I'm trying to stay on the 80 West, go as far along the 80 West as I can. Then he started saying how it's going to be dark and Scott needs to rest. And like trying to ask Scott, do you want to come to my house and rest? I was like, look, we're not going to Altoona. I need to stay on the 80. It got vicious. We started arguing. You'd have thought I was like arguing with my wife over something or yelling at my children. I mean, I was screaming at the top of my lungs. At that point, I think we were like at about the mile 165. I knew on my map looking that we had an exit coming up at 161. So I'd asked him, I said, look, I went off on the exit 161. And he was like, no, you're going to go to Altoona. I went off on exit 161. Please get off the exit ramp and let me off. Well, he ended up getting off at exit 158 when he got off. I had told Scott before, like, when he stops, grab your bags. He stopped. I opened the door. Told Scott, I think I dropped the F-bomb, get the F off of the car. I got out, Scott got out, and there was a McDonald's, you'd say we're about 200 yards, 300 yards, something like that from the exit ramp. Yeah. So we walked over here and sat here, and it started raining terrible, so we were in here, and I was like posting it on the Facebook, and so many people just at that point like was offering, hey, we'll come and get you. People that I haven't talked to in years, people that I haven't seen in a few years. One of them was my dad, was like, hey, I'll come and get you, so we're sitting at McDonald's waiting for my dad to come and pick us up now. But it was crazy. I mean, it was just like, we've had probably well over 150 rides, and this is the first time that somebody like I argued with. Even last year, I mean, like 32 days of hitchhiking. I've never screamed or yelled at anybody before. Even when I thought things were going to go bad in a ride, like I would text, hey, just letting everybody know where I am. Never ended bad. I mean, we always had a good time. good experiences, and it was crazy. The guy said his name. Scott, I don't even remember what his name was. I just know he drove a white Buick and lives in Altoona. I did see another hitchhiker outside and told him all what happened. He was like, look, sorry I got a yawn, but hitchhiker's name Alan. I was like, Alan, if this guy comes in a white Buick, has a round turtle face, bright as a lobster from a sunburn, I was like, don't get in it. And that was another weird thing, is I should have known at the beginning. When we were doing all the luggage and moving stuff in the back, the guy took his shirt off, and I commented on him, hey, yeah, you got a nice sunburn, you look like a lobster. And I think I was just tired from being out in the sun, walking all that, didn't like see all the signs or the precautions, and some stupid me. But it ended well. Screamed, we got out of the car, and no issues. I ain't gonna lie, at one point, if he was not gonna stop, I was gonna probably wreck the car and just get out of there. So I'm not gonna let this one incident ruin a great trip. Scott and I did have an excellent trip, and I'll tell you about that in a minute.